Philip Edward Island is located off the shore of Killarney Provincial Park in Ontario, Canada. This area appealed to me because of its unique geography and peaceful isolation. We loaded up our tandem kayak, which we rented from Killarney Outfitters at Kayaking Creek, and set out. The route to circumnavigate Philip Edward Island is about 50 kilometers, and the main island is surrounded by hundreds or maybe even thousands of much smaller islands. The pinkish rock is smooth and emerges from the clear, cold, turquoise waters in graceful mounds. The rocks were so smooth and warm under my feet, I didn't want to wear shoes at all. There are thousands of places to stop and many interesting glacial and natural features in the rock, like chattermarks, deposits, and lichen. The Fox Islands are located south of the main island, and access should only be attempted in favorable conditions, as the route crosses into the open bay where winds and waves are stronger and conditions can change quickly, making them not suitable for novice paddlers. They are far worth the journey, however. The large majority of the main and surrounding islands are Crown land, which means that they are owned by the Canadian government and available for public use. This also means that you can camp for free anywhere you like, as long as it is Crown land. There are no facilities, however, other than the odd fire pit. Despite traveling in the middle of July, we only saw a handful of other kayakers and campers. We did, however, meet a group on West Fox Island that had been there for 4 days doing an astrophotography course and taking advantage of the new moon. The stars in the Milky Way are unbelievable here, but only if there's no cloud cover to block it. This was our campsite on Martin's Island in the Fox Islands area. Here we watched a weasel-type animal who would run back and forth across the site, catching crayfish and taking them back to her den. Each day consisted of waking up, making breakfast, paddling, stopping where we wanted, setting up tent, making dinner, and watching the sunset. Being away from the grind and outside of the range of cell towers, it seemed that there was really only one place we had to be each day, and that was on the shore in time to watch the sunset. So many days in the city, this is something that we miss and don't often make the time for. I felt like this spectacle was a miracle, and taking these trips allows me to participate in this little ritual and reset my priorities. If we only did one thing all day out there, it was watch the sunset. Breakfast is pretty much the same every day, oatmeal, but this time we found wild blueberries growing nearby, which made it a million times better. Only thing is, bears like blueberries too, so we were always on guard. We never saw one though we did find evidence. There are not only bears in the area, but rattlesnakes too. I almost managed to step on one while looking for places to do my business, and it rattled at me to let me know it wasn't happy. The Massasauga rattlesnake is a pit viper whose venom can be deadly, but human deaths are rare as anti-venom is available and effective. Of course, when you've been paddling for 3 days in the wilderness, it's not easy to get to a hospital quickly. Luckily, they are shy snakes that avoid biting you if possible. The many islands surrounding Philip Edward Island form little canals and a multitude of courses that you can take. You could never take the same route twice because you simply wouldn't find it again. It's very easy to get lost on the map, with many islands looking similar and some so small they do not even appear on it. I loved the tandem kayak because it was incredibly steady, and it was nice to have help paddling it. You really felt it though when your partner stopped paddling, to take videos for example. Once loaded, it was so heavy that I could not lift an end more than a few inches off the ground. Our course took us to the west end of the island and around the south end to the east and through Collins Inlet, where the landscape changes dramatically, to return to our starting point. Many people love the south end so much that they turn back instead of going through the inlet to complete the loop. The inlet has its own merits though, including incredibly high canyon walls that drop straight into the water. There are also old wood pilings and iron rings remaining from the logging days, as well as Ojibwe rock paintings on the sheer cliffs. There's nothing to mark where they are though, so you have to look hard. This route is also special for its historical significance. It was used as a fur trade route from Thunder Bay to Montreal from the 16 to 1800s. The downsides of the inlet are that it gets much more boat traffic because of its depth. Also, there are fewer campsites simply because it is hard to land. While we had planned to take 5 full days, we ended up completing our route in just 3, partly due to favorable conditions, and perhaps because we don't know how to stop. If we could do it again, we'd slow down and explore more. We hope this video gets you excited for visiting Philip Edward Island and planning a spectacular sea kayaking trip.